Now, empty seats marked the third and final day of the devolution conference that was officially closed Friday by Defense CS Eugene Wamalwa. Deputy President William Ruto was among those missing from the conference, skipping it to tour Nyandarua County, instead sent his Chief of Staff, David Osinde, to represent him. KTN's Daniel Karaoke reports on the resolutions of the three-day eventful conference.
Friday was the final day of the 7th and final annual devolution conference in Makueni County. About 27 key resolutions passed during the conference that largely delved in matters climate change.
Both levels of government shall strengthen structured intergovernmental consultations and ensure effective joint efforts and programming on resilient food systems.
Kenya is a very resilient nation, but never in our history has our resilience been tested to this extent. And that is why we need to come together and put our heads together to talk about this.
We must come with mitigation efforts to be able to deal with it. I'm very happy that all the speakers that came through were able to talk about this issue, and I know a lot will be able to come out of this.
But even as the conference came to a close, political undertones dominated the final day after Deputy President William Ruto, who was scheduled to officially close the governor's meet, skipped the event that had listed him as the day's chief guest and set to address the delegates in the afternoon.
We were expecting the Deputy President, William Ruto, to come and close the conference, but unfortunately he never turned up.
DP Ruto was represented by his Chief of Staff.
The leadership of the Council of Governors thought that this is an international conference that cannot be closed by the Chief of Staff.
I was invited at very short notice just yesterday by Governor Wambora, and he told me unahitajika Makueni mara moja.
For graciously accepting at the last minute to grace this function. You are a true friend in need, and we thank you most heartedly.
Wamalwa taking a swipe at the DP as he urged Kenyans to vote for a leader who would champion devolution.
But the greatest policy we have passed as a country is the devolution policy. That is the real bottom up. Let us interrogate these candidates on matters devolution, and let us ask ourselves, after the founding president of devolution, our next president, who is it that we can trust, who believes in devolution?
Ruto's move comes days after government officials, among them governors, snubbed a meeting on the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, IBEC, that is chaired by the DP. Among CSs that missed the meeting were Treasury CS Ukuri Atani, his education counterpart George Magoha, Peter Munya, CS Agriculture, and Transport CS James Masharia. And on the heels of Chief Justice Martha Koome's rebuke of Ruto's allies, who want her to quit the committee overseeing election preparedness that she chairs. With the official closure of the 7th and final annual devolution conference in Makueni County, focus now shifts to the stakeholders on the implementation of the resolutions passed during this conference. Daniel Karaoke, KTN News in Makueni County.